Hey, today we took a quick drive over to Portland, Pennsylvania, which is right down Route 611, right through the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. And we are going to paint near the footbridge here in Portland, Pennsylvania. This is an interesting area. You have a lot of wonderful views here along the Liberty Water Gap Trail. You can walk quite a few miles and explore the shores of the Delaware River just south of the Delaware Water Gap area. There's also a lot of nice architecture in this town as well. Today we're going to go down to an area that's used as a boat launch by a lot of the recreational organizations that launch canoes, kayaks, and rafts on the Delaware River here. And I'm going to try and paint two scenes looking slightly upriver and downriver. We'll see how it works out. I kind of like this view right here. Maybe in a future plein air adventure, we'll take that on. That way we can incorporate this pathway. But we have this nice bridge above us, and a little ways off to the right here, there's an area where I can camp out and pick a few scenes to paint from. I'm kind of excited about today's session because I'm going to paint using my binder style handmade wet panel carrier for a dual purpose. I'm going to leave my linen sheets taped into the drawing boards that are clipped into the wet panel carrier and just leave it open. And I'm going to use that as a handheld easel. So we'll see how that goes. More on that in just a few moments. I'm just going to span this scene here looking downriver. You could just about make out portions of the Delaware Water Gap all the way there on the left through the trees. And there's that wonderful bridge, some nice reflections. And if you look upriver, or downriver, I should say, south of here, I'm confusing my north and my south. But if you look south, you see that other overpass with that car passing by. That's actually a bridge that's used for automobile traffic. So we're going to look and try and get that view. There's kind of a cool little S curve sort of design with the shoreline there and some nice reflections. I think we're going to go for something incorporating the footbridge from this interesting vantage point. So we'll get ourselves set up. We'll get going. Once we get set up, I'll probably increase the speed of play here so we can get through our little 8x6 paintings a little bit more quickly. You could watch the progression. And if we start seeing a lot of interest for more longer form videos that show the full progress at real speed, I'll certainly do more of those. So really important, when you're using a handheld easel, unless it's a super light and small format, it's probably best to have some sort of seat available to you. And that's the scene I'm actually going to paint on one hand, and that's the scene I'm going to paint on the other. Just wanted to put those reference photos up so you can kind of get a sense for what I'm envisioning these paintings will look like. I'll continue to unpack and I'll get myself set up. And lately the YouTube algorithms have been checking super carefully to make sure there's no copyright violation. So even some of the music that I incorporate that's approved for use has been getting snagged. So we're probably going to just let the video footage play without any sound or manipulation from here on out. I hope you enjoy. Occasionally I'll check in with some additional commentary. But thanks again for watching. And let me know in the comments if there's specific subject matter that you would like to see me take on in these videos, or if there's a particular format that you feel would be helpful for you as part of this community. Appreciate you watching. So at this point you can see I set up my easel with my handmade ultralight plein air paint box. I'm going to use that as my palette so I can grab paints nice and easily and conveniently, roughly at shoulder level, waist to shoulder level there. And now I'm opening up my handmade plein air wet panel carrier. It's a binder style carrier that actually uses an old accounting binder to hold wood panels in place, to which I've affixed linen sheets with painter's tape. And I'm just going to open up a page like this, and I'm going to use two separate sheets of linen, oil prime linen, to sketch out two plein air paintings in one session. And I'll just simply work back and forth, as you'll see here as I start making progress, almost like I'm working in a sketchbook. Now, my preference is to work larger and at arm's length and use big expressive brushstrokes, but time is of the essence. I'm still kind of mid-career with my full-time job, so I have to eke out every opportunity I get to paint. And painting on plein air is my favorite creative endeavor, so every chance I get usually is going to come either during a day that I've taken off, taken a scheduled vacation time, and also have nothing else going on in my life. And early in the morning seems to work really well for me. So I have about an hour and a half here because I got out a little earlier, and I'm going to get started. And I'll shift my position here from time to time so you could see better. And I'll even zoom in from time to time so you could see the panels that I'm painting on as well. It's a nice calm day on the river here. We haven't had any substantial rainfall, and I believe everything's kind of operating normally upstream in the watershed area where they kind of maintain control of the water flow through a dam system. So the water level is high, maybe to a little low, very calm. It is a little bit of a gray day. That always is a little bit of a disappointment. I always go into these sessions optimistic that I might find some unusually beautiful circumstance, like some nice clouds that are lit up by the sun or something of that nature. But gray days like this give us great opportunities too. The light tends to stay a little bit more stable. You don't see the challenges that come with shifting light and shifting shadows. In addition to that, these grays can be quite beautiful as well. If you look closely, you'll see yellow, gold, pink, and purple hues within and amongst the gray, kind of gray tints, tinted by those colors. So today I'm actually, for the first time in a long while, I'm painting in oil paints. I'm using a little bit of Galkid drying medium, fast drying medium. And I would say probably about a 25% to 75% consistency, 25% Galkin to 75% oil paints. I'm putting down this first layer with that particular Galkid drying medium from Gamblin. The intention here is to have that under these humid circumstances dry a little bit more quickly. As it dries, it becomes kind of tacky by touch, and it makes it a little bit easier to put the second layers down on top of it. So I'm just working my way through, creating shadow patterns, trying to connect them in a logical way. And once I'm done with this initial painting, which is going to be done in the portrait format of that kind of winding shoreline with the overpass in the distance, once I get the major shadow patterns in on this panel, I'll turn my little binder around, and I will paint the footbridge that's closer to us and a little bit upriver from where I'm sitting, and I will paint that horizontally or a landscape format. And I'll be doing this all along the way, holding this binder either as I am right now, kind of cradling it in my lap and holding it with my right hand because I'm a southpaw. or I will hook my hand through my handmade duct tape handle on the back and hold it out front a little bit with my right arm as well while I paint on the other panel, as you'll see here in a few moments. But my hope is that this little underpainting will dry at least partially, and that'll help me get the rest of the paint on quickly and wrap this session up within the hour and a half that I have. As mentioned earlier, once I get going here, I am going to speed up a lot of the painting process just to keep this video right around the 40-minute mark. Okay, I'm going to stand up for a minute and kind of step back from my painting process and also take a look at the two scenes that I'm painting. Sometimes it's important to take a couple deep breaths and just think a little bit before you get started. And I've also turned my wet panel carrier, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm holding it by hooking my hand through the handle on the back side of the binder. Right now, I'm just measuring what I hope to be the outer edges of the scene that I'm going to be going with, and you can see now I've made the final decision to, as I mentioned earlier, to turn that bottom panel to a landscape format. Just going to suit the scene a little bit better and help me play with the perspective a little bit more. And obviously, I'm speeding up the video, so I don't normally move that fast. Sometimes I wish I did. I'm also partially grateful I don't. Probably would hurt myself. But from here on out, just invite you to enjoy the process. Really appreciate you joining. If you're getting anything out of these videos, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Maybe click that notification button so you get updates from me. I typically will only post long form videos 2 or 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will post quite a few shorts. Typically those are videos of me painting or drawing, actually more commonly portraits in multicolored ballpoint pen in a time-lapse format. But I promise not to bother you too much. And then also take a look in the video notes here for this video. I'm going to include some resources that are related to this video, including my book that I recently self-published. that offers you insights into how to go about painting on plein air in the Poconos. It's called The Field Guide to Outdoor Painting in the Pocono Mountains, and it's available on Amazon and Kindle. So I would invite you to check that out, along with the other resources that I'll make available in the video notes. All right, unfortunately, it's time for me to wrap up. Had a really good session. Enjoyed this session a lot. As I'm packing up, I'll just let you know that I will probably work on touching up these paintings in studio. But in the meantime, I'll bring them up here so you can see a close-up in natural light to see what they look like. There you can see them side by side. The one on the right there is the shoreline view, and then here's the bridge view. There's some minor corrections and adjustments that I'll make, but I like the way that the finished product here kind of worked out. Not bad for a little bit of work here in the morning. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. If you enjoyed this video, consider taking a look at this video up here that YouTube is recommending for you. And if you'd like to check out more of my work, check out my website at thomasmichaelneiman.com. Thanks again. Be well.